Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. My name is Jason. Oh, and I hear my stream in the background. That was not a part of the plan. Best laid plans come to us. Alright, well, welcome everybody to a very secret stream. You know nothing of what is to come. However, this has been a long time coming. We're not announcing Infinity Wars 3. We're not announcing a new Coil visual novel dating simulator. We're not announcing a new Minecraft server. We're doing something that we actually have wanted to do for quite some time and have been working towards. My name is Jason, I'm the Community and Media Manager, but I could not be here today without the help and support of all of the rest of the team, so huge shout outs to everybody at Lightmare. We will be chatting with some of them in just a moment. But first off, I need to start with a confession. What you're looking at right now isn't real. You've been hoodwinked. This is a pre-recorded video. That doesn't belong there. We should get rid of this and show you what we're really here for. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Infinity Wars Classic UI Overhaul reveal. This is our first ever showcase of what is to come, and please note, this is still an alpha, and it's still buggy. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but this is the first time that we're showcasing it to the world. And there are some big changes that are coming here. One of the ones that I'm most excited about is the extreme optimization behind the scenes to just improve loading times by a huge margin. I'm going to jump into the deck builder, and you are all going to see firsthand how quickly that it loads compared to normal. But before I do that, I do want to actually add in a quick secondary announcement. Everything that you're seeing at the moment, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you can jump into right now. As in, I literally just hit post on the Patreon post that will teach you how to get into this so you can experience it firsthand. There are bugs. We know there's bugs. There's a lot of them actually. But it's all here and you can jump in yourself. Actually, there was one other thing that I needed to quickly do. Doink. There we go. Perfect. I think that's everything that I take off my list. Did that. Did that. Alright, perfect. Let's jump in. I'm going to go to the decks. This is the new deck viewer. It will showcase all of the decks that you have in a beautiful visual way, showcasing the name, the commanders, the number of cards you have in the deck. If you mouse over, it will show you a small list of what you've got. Might be editing that up a little bit, but yeah. You'll also notice the front card. Now, it's not quite ready in the actual version yet, but you'll be able to edit that front card to be whatever you want. It's purely a visual thing for you, but you can actually help label your own decks and kind of remember what certain things do. So, for example, if you had a specific deck, for example this tester deck here, this could be my Omnimind deck, and I could set this custom image to be Omnimind. So you get to actually choose the top card of your deck just on a showcasing visual standpoint. Now, one thing I will note, again, there are bugs. So if we click rename, for example, menu pops up, it's a little to the left. We'll fix that. Don't worry about that. We're just so excited about everything else. But watch this. This Zomb deck, we're going to hit the deck builder, and it's already loaded. It's just that fast now. We went from 25 seconds to... I don't think I can count to 2 in that. Now, please note that there are a lot of changes happening. For example, the text of the actual cards is a little bit hard to read at the moment. If we bring it up full screen though, it is still there. We are going to be making changes to that. But also, something else that was just really subtle, notice that when we mouse over the cards, it shows them off in a 3D-esque style. That's subtle. That's nice. That feels fun to use. The improvements to the deck builder, the visuals off to the side here, it's all been changed and optimized to a huge point. What's the scroll button to the right? That's the deck entirety of your collection, basically, which of course will be every card because you own every card. You know how that works. Show the lore. I'm getting to it, Ruben! Alright. So yeah, you can change whatever you like with this. You can edit the actual things. You can still go into the cards and change them up as well. I do note that the card editor is a little bit broken at the moment, so I'm not going to really do that much yet. Can we filter by purity, like 1, 2, 3 purities? I don't think that's currently possible, but it's something that we could definitely look at on the to-do list. I think with the new added functionality, it's definitely doable. It's definitely possible. I don't know if we will, but we could, which is real fun. Yeah, the full art button, that was in the actual last build, but we've made it a little bit more clear. So now, if we wanted to go to our inventory, first off, I don't want to save the changes I made to that deck and just go throw them away. We'll check out all the cards that we have access to. Loads up really quickly. Now, something that I will mention is that we've spent a lot of time going through each and every single card and giving them lore. And I need to give a quick shout out here to Ben Yonan, the lore master of the Infinity Wars worlds. We actually hired him on to do a lot of the writing for us, because as much as we as a company know Infinity Wars, that man knows Infinity Wars and just dwarfs all of our combined knowledge. So it only made sense that some of the most influential cards were written by someone who knew them and was a part of that experience. And there's some real beautiful ones in here too. So if we go to any single card that we have, not only can we cycle through the different vanity options, so you can check out all the different versions of the actual cards that you've got, but every single card has this. A little lore paragraph to it. The Overseers of Solace and the Flame Dawn aligned in many ways, but most of all, their alliance was sealed by Sol's willingness to provide Iberian with two things: targets for his aggression and the power to smite them. Charging into the fray upon wings of fire and steel, ascended soldiers of the Flame Dawn Empire became the most zealous prosecutors of Sol's wars even after other segments of the Dawn's population began to harbor doubts. Every single card. Well, not that one, but most cards. Okay, we might have a few that are missing things, but we'll fix that up. But we have written lore for every single card in the game, and all of them will be available. You'll only be able to view this once you actually have the cards, so if you don't own a certain card, then you'll have to unbox it or trade for it, or buy an entire set, which is a very affordable way to get like an entire set of all of the cards sort of thing. But yeah. Can we get more distinct color for the lore text? Might be a good idea. Might be a good idea. So yeah, the store is currently undergoing a fair bit of maintenance as well. There's not a whole lot that you can see here, but there is a lot on the way. Sorry about that. The social area, we have leaderboards. This is of course going to be replaced with our ranked leaderboard at some point, once we actually have the ability to have a ranked queue and ELO system, which is fantastic. We have your profile, which has a bunch of fun little statistics, the ability to change your title, battlefield. There are going to be other functionalities here, for example, the ability to change your badges. Badges are going to be coming back. And also a new thing, the card showcase. Now, this is a part of your profile that you can set to have a couple of cards that you're showing off that you own. And you'll be able to have other players come to your profile and see those cards. It's kind of like a little flex folder sort of thing. You know how you go to trading card game tournaments and you have like a little bit of a folder that you show off of all your high-level collectible cards sort of thing? This is that. And, you know, every player is going to have a default amount. It might be 3 or 4 or something. And, you know, if you want to buy more slots to show off more of that prestige and, you know, flex on your opponents, you definitely can. And with the direction that we're taking with cosmetics, that's going to be a very fun thing. The lawyer is a thing of beauty. I'm so happy to see it at long last and not stare at a spreadsheet. It was so hard to deal with all of that info on a spreadsheet. It looks so much better in this format, Ben. I'm excited to see you jump in and admire it. You've got the quests, the information on the Prestige Pass, which is now a lot more beautiful. You can scroll through the entire thing and see exactly what you do and don't own. Looking absolutely beautiful. Daily login rewards is coming. There's a lot of features that are on the way. Community section, we've got a bunch of things to link off to. This is probably going to have some changes to it as well. But yeah, this is where we are headed. Also, the play section here, I should quickly mention. We've got room for events, riff runs, the ranked area, tutorials, training, another spot for a box there if we have separate campaign missions or something. There's a lot going on. You can select your deck, jump right in, and you've got the join queue button here. So, I think that's everything that I needed to mention off the top of my head. Let's take a second and quickly check in with the Discord server.
The queue faction LIDJs.
What does everybody think of the reveal so far?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very good.
You should talk about the join queue.
Oh yeah, the join
queue while doing other things.
Yeah, so if I wanted to jump into a queue, let's say I want to go the Genesis deck and join the queue. I'm now in the queue. While I'm in the queue, I can go and, play with my inventory. I can edit decks as long as it's not the deck that I'm in the queue with, and, you can do everything else that you, would be expected to be able to do. It's been a bit of a requested feature for a while now, and I'm glad that we finally got it in there. So while I'm doing all this stuff, I'm still in the queue, and when I eventually find a game, I'm just going to pop into that. Looks like I found a game too, which is fantastic.
Hello, sir.
Greetings, Gamepedia.
I'm gonna deafen now to not hear you talk about gaming.
Alright, so we're just going to quickly jump in through a round of this. I will note that in the current version, there are some things that are currently disabled, including some VFX and stuff. But yeah, we have the team on full alert, going hard at bug fixing for the next couple of weeks to get this looking beautifully. So hopefully there will...
Real quick.
What's up?
All my cards are now black and white. I'm pretty sure that's because this is technically a beta path.
It's that's a bit of a known bug with Patreons who make a deck full of Patreon exclusive cards, and then it changes it to the grayscale cards because it gets confused somewhere in the system. It's something we're aware of and going to fix at some point. So yeah.
Got you. Okie dokie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so the in-game...
Now we can watch Jason get his butt kicked.
That's just another day, another stream, really. Nothing too different there.
I've never gotten to play against this kind of deck before. Although I've run it many times.
Yeah, as Gravecaller mentioned in the chat, just kept going great.
Please use all your resources each turn. It makes me sad otherwise.
But me, I just did. What are you talking
No,
about?
you didn't. You had 2 resources and you used one of them.
You used one resource.
Oh, whoops. I was supposed to mechanize Medi. My bad.
Oh no. Oh no. He's gonna do it again. Just play the splitter light.
There you go. I played the splitter light. Calm down. Chill. It's all good. Alright. Did we do that? Yes, we did. That. Can you export decks in the new deck builder? Yes, you can. It's a whole lot easier too. I'll be able to showcase that when I'm done here, getting my ass beat. Not a problem. This is a difficult position to be in. So we go here.
It's a good thing you've got a lot of board presence.
Whole lot of board presence. Sort through all this. Just another day. I have game workshop this deck, so it could be decently annoying. Oh dear. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what this deck does. I think I was a part of the conversations while it was being theory crafted. I'm not keen. I'll be honest, not keen.
Yeah,
Why the
looks
cheese
like there's
pudding
a
is
couple of visual bugs in here, but that's alright.
Yeah, so as a part of the UI overhaul, one of the other things that was revamped completely was the effects system. So a lot of the VFX that you see in the game, basically all of them had to get put on a shelf and put back into the game manually. And then we only got like a third or a halfway through that actual list of things to do. So yeah, we've got plenty left to do, but we were so excited about, you know, having come this far that we just couldn't hold it on any longer. It would have been kind of nice to like wait just a little bit longer, but oh well. We got shit that we want to do.
We want to make sure that we've got to give like warning to the people who'll be streaming the game and who'll be promoting it and stuff. So we have to give them fair warning to adjust their schedules and stuff. So there'll be at least a 3-week wait between when we announce that we're launching the Kickstarter and it actually launches. Which is, yeah, obviously with these guys are just putting in bug fixes and polish. So might be one other feature we need to put in. It's not critical for us to be able to launch with. It's an additional one. And yeah, it's really proud of what the guys have done so far. So play this, play in the game against people in the UI at your own risk. This is totally not for public consumption. Yeah, good stuff.
So Zale just keeps flipping away to that, which is going to be annoying.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm not in a great position at the moment, but let's see what we can do.
Carlos and her. I'd have to look that up in the
Would an initiative
text building.
play out and he'll still get his ability first?
Yeah, preempt.
Aha, yes, of course.
Hopefully this will work. That wasn't too bad of a time. Not bad, not bad.
Play.
It's not perfect, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, if you'd had Medi in defense, you could have wiped out the Tibat.
Would have been nice. He's probably got another 3 in his deck though, so I'm trying not to tunnel vision too hard on that specifically and seeing what else I can do. This.
Good mechanized Medi. Buff him.
It is unfortunate that I spent a lot of time buffing him and he got changed up.
Yeah, that's the risk of going tall in Infinity Wars with so many flicker effects, kill effects. You want to spread out your threats a lot. Like, I probably wouldn't use Gelify off priority.
I'm just trying to think how I can make the most of my actual resource count. I'm not really happy with that turn. I'll throw that there. that onto that. Go this. No, that's not as bad.
Would be perfect for next turn.
I've also just realized I haven't been looking at my medi drafts every single time. I could definitely pull something here which would work. So I've got to be more careful about that. Might be useful.
No,
Where's
Jason.
Medi putting the cards that you draft anyway?
When you draft a card with Medi, it places it on the top of your deck. Also,
Okay.
welcome to all the people we've got in the chat. I've been trying to look over every now and then, but also trying to focus on the game. I've noticed is every single time I come to check this game, it looks more and more like the glory days. Great work, guys. Love that. Today is the grand reveal of the Infinity Wars Classic UI Overhaul. I should actually probably edit the stream title to say that.
Yeah, Jason, did you post the details for the Patreon here? I don't see.
Yes, I did. It's been posted specifically to Patreon. So everybody who's a member of the Patreon has been emailed about it.
Oh, okay, but you haven't put it in the Patreon section of the Discord yet.
No.
Okay, no problem.
Go. Edited that. Right. Still got a minute left to make my turn. Let's figure out what we want to do here.
I might head off. I'll just make
Thanks.
sure.
Thanks for coming in. Make sure everything didn't blow up, Ruben.
Didn't blow up, but yeah, big thanks
I can
to.
still read the chat and I can see you talking shit, snowboarder. What the hell, man?
But yeah, big thanks to all the dev team who've been working really hard on this update, and there's lots of cool stuff and improvements to come. So it's been really exciting.
Yeah, you guys have done amazingly well. So yeah, good job. Everyone's really flowing with their skill set really well.
Definitely been a whole lot of fun. How do I get the most amount of resources here?
Yeah, thanks for coming on the stream, Ruben.
Numbers.
Jason, real quick, I have a question for you.
What do you got?
How much worse would you have felt if a strategically applied Yuan-Chi's Wrath had hit your board maybe 2-3 turns ago?
I would usually feel bad about that.
Do you feel like it would have lost you the game?
I feel like it could have. You're about to tell me that sort of thing is in the deck right now, aren't you?
No, it's what I pushed for,
Oh,
and what
okay.
Gamepedia did not want to include.
Oh, how interesting. Alright, fair enough.
What's interesting is he's on 0 health and still alive somehow.
Oh, yeah, that might be
Yeah.
another bug. Ruben, help!
That's an issue with that card.
So it gets its negative stat adjustments when you draw a card, and it's just like, oh, this guy's probably still alive though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll need to fix that up.
I would also love an option to be able to hover over characters in a match and see what their actual max health total is at any given time.
That would be kind of cool. Especially when you have a lot of things
Because
that buff health effects and then like
There's a
healing
factual
something.
difference
That's
between
really,
maximum
really
health
cool to do
and
that.
statted, what they currently have available to them. Persistent HP makes that very important.
Welcome, Lord F.
Yeah,
Game looking better every day,
Always wanting
indeed.
to do the persistent, but it just looked too messy with trying to have it on every single card. But Overhaul is brilliant. Thanks, man. Really
Yeah,
good
no
idea.
problem.
That was not a fun hit for us to take. just gonna keep popping. Yeah, we're jumping back to the main menu once I lose. Good to know that the people that I work with have so much faith in me as a player too. Feels real refreshing. And that comes down, yep, kills him, comes back, fantastic. Oh, okay. Nope. Not really a fan of any of those, to be honest. That and that. I hate that he just consecrated all of my goddamn one-cost things. It's so inconvenient.
It also feels like
not
inefficient for him. Like he's spending 3 to get rid of a one-cost mechanized, but I don't know. I guess it
You may
helps.
also be interested to know that I pushed for the consecrates to be swapped for wraths.
Yeah, I would probably
I have
do
very
that.
different opinions from Gamepedia when it comes to deck building, but I will also not push someone to build a deck that they don't want, because I, of all people, with my classic 4 Doug super healing deck, understand tank.
Yeah. I would see Consecrate more as a sideboard card, which obviously is still in the works, right?
Yep.
And yeah, just rather than running it main, unless artifacts and locations particularly are really a problem, I would trading post it away rather than using it on a mechanized.
Mass death.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Ah.
Don't Angelify Medi this turn. I would Mass Death this turn and Angelify Medi next turn because he's gonna flicker Medi. Oh, he didn't.
Good game.
In that case.
Good game. In a shocking twist of events, Jason wins the game, guys. Who could have ever guessed?
Actually did it. I feel like that was very hardly fought, and I don't know if I deserved the win, but I'll take it. We take those.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get the repeater. It didn't come up there.
Indeed.
Anyway, I
Right,
will be
so
right back.
welcome for those of you that missed the start of the stream. This is, of course, the UI overhaul. Things are looking a lot different to the way they were looking just yesterday, in fact, if you happen to jump in and play the game. The deck viewer system is so much more beautiful, so much faster. Things are a little bit buggy still, of course, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we've basically revealed most of the functionality. Coyle, if you can think of anything that we haven't yet shown off that you think would be a cool little idea or anything we can talk about.
Just perhaps just a bit more of the inventory screen, and yeah, that's about the only thing. I think under cosmetics and stuff, so you can look at settings and stuff there.
Yep, sure. So one thing we didn't show off was the cosmetics area, and these are actually sorted by all of the different types of cosmetics we have, and it's very easy to navigate between them. So you've got your profile pics, your profile titles, your backing arts, etc., backgrounds, and it's very easy to just go through them and find exactly what you want. Now, mine is a little bit overstocked because as a Lightmare admin person, I kind of have access to everything. So yours will be looking a little bit more dry than that, but over time, as you play and level up your battle pass and stuff, you'll start building up a lot of that, even just for free. Which is
Yeah, and they didn't get the renames on those sections in for me this morning, but that's alright. I'll focus on making sure it worked.
Yeah. Now, our core focus was making sure this was as functional as possible, so there were a couple of things that kind of got left to the wayside. Yeah, the laws are absolutely beautiful. Again, thank you to Ben Yonan, who's actually here in the voice chat. Round of applause for Ben Yonan.
Thank you, Ben.
Oh, you're welcome. It was wonderful to work on.
Yeah, definitely something to be proud of. Are there any specific cards that you worked on that you really want to showcase the world what you wrote? Because, like, now's the perfect opportunity. What's one that you're proud of?
while you're thinking about that, I did get a chance to go through the Agent Coil ones, and I'm pretty happy with those. So good.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while.
Also, I will note that the card system at the moment isn't perfectly laid out. Like, it starts off kind of in alphabetical order,
Yeah,
but then it's not,
so,
but then it is,
yeah.
but then it's not. So yeah, we will be fixing that sort of thing up. Don't you worry. I actually just thought of one of the great ones that Ben Yonan did. Is this it? Nope, that's not
Which
it.
one are you looking at?
Found it. The Dragon Project.
Oh,
This
yeah,
one?
yeah, Dragon Project. I love that
This
one.
was probably one of my favorite ones that you've done. Conducted by Orion in the utmost secrecy, the Dragon Project funneled untold resources into recreating and even improving upon the majestic dragons of Talich. Although prohibitively expensive and incredibly slow to develop, Orion never abandoned the Dragon Project. And one day, his faith was rewarded with a mechanical replicant of the most majestic creatures in all of Talich. Watching the creature unleash a synthetic roar, Orion discarded the lengthy speech he had prepared for the occasion. "Build another one," he said instead, grinning from ear to ear. I think that's real fun.
It's great.
Build another one.
I know that Mr. Shadow Ignition had one of... no, I think it was actually Ruben that had a really favourite one from the new set as well. I just can't remember what the card was. I know it was a Sleepers one. You don't remember off the top of your head, do you, Coil?
You know, might we just go to the decks and just filter by, make a 3 exile deck.
I don't remember the new set since Intrigue was Jason. I was just working on the older cards.
Yeah. Hold on, if we go to triple sleeper deck, do I have any triple sleeper decks? No, it's probably just going to be finding a double sleeper. Get the deck builder. Loads up so fast. Filter my sleepers, and just scroll through. I might find it by accident. Ah! Concealed Infection, that was it. So if we go to inventory, I think there might be eventually a way to switch directly from a card you're viewing in the deck builder directly to that card in the inventory. I don't know if that functionality is there at the moment. It could be in the future. Don't know. But yeah, Concealed Infection. This is one of the new Intrigue cards. The actual ability is pretty basic. Just a character you control in the assault zone gains deadly until the end of the turn. Very fun. Whole lot of abilities there that you can use it. And the text is simple. On the dark streets of Genesis Industries, in a rundown city block, a man falls to his knees. There is no known reason and no known cause. He doesn't get back up. His body does. It continues on into the night. That was one of the fun ones. I think that was one of Ruben's personal favorites. What does the keyword deadly do? If you damage something, it kills it. It uses a kill effect to kill it. So it doesn't matter if your attack is 1 or 100, if you damage something that's another unit, it kills it. Is that 1 purity? I think it is at the moment. It might potentially be changed. I haven't seen a lot of feedback or playtesting on this specific card. Again, everything is kind of up in the air and open to suggestion and changes and influence from the community. As a community-driven game, we listen to, you know, the feedback of what all the people say. But yeah, at the moment, it's a 1 purity card. We'll see how that changes. So it can be paired with Unstoppable. Like, yes, if you have something with a lot of health and you give it Unstoppable and then throw that onto it, you could just bulldoze an entire defense line. Not exactly the easiest thing to do, but possible. It feels like one of those combos that sounds really overpowered, but takes like 20 steps to set up and level up, so it's not really worth it. Like, the combo that I've been playing a couple of times on stream for the last week or so, last couple of weeks, sorry, the Bring 'em Back Twice deck. I'll just quickly show off that in the actual deck builder while I'm talking about it. It's a dumb idea. It's a really dumb idea. I'll be the first to admit it. But the overall premise is a very basic
Worked
one.
really well on me.
Yeah, eventually. It doesn't get to pop off very often, but I'm glad that I managed to pull it off on my boss and employer and great friend. But yeah, the basic idea with this deck is that you somehow build to 9 and play out Memorial to Heroes, so that everything you play another version in the Assault Zone. And then you eventually build up to 12 and play Avarak Has Risen, meaning that everything gets brought back to your Assault Zone, and then because of Memorial to Heroes, it doubles all of it directly to the Assault Zone, which is just insane. It is so hard to pull off because it has a Flame Dawn faction in it, so I usually just rush people down and the game's over by turn 9 for better or worse. But there's a couple of times, those few times where I've pulled that combo off, that feels good. Love that.
You can press the lore button there too on the screen, right?
Oh, is that what? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I know that was
I
I know that was
think
suggested. I didn't know if we got that actually in. That's awesome. So yeah, in the card inspector, you've got the ability to rename and reskin any card in the game that you own, which is fantastic. But yeah, we also have the lore button. You can also hide this so it's just the artwork and just the lore. Beautiful. How do we port our accounts over? So you do need to be a Patreon member at the moment, and you jump through the account transfer process through the actual in-game menus that allow you to do that. I will note that it's a little bit broken at the moment. There's a couple of people who have put forward account transfer requests that just haven't gotten them yet. We're aware of that. We're fixing that. So if you do want to transfer all your stuff over, it might be a bit delayed, but yeah. Consider adding labels to the buttons. I think just hover over hotkeys, hot text or whatever it is, might be a good idea. Labels might get too much text on the screen at once, but yeah, we could definitely... We will look at ways that we can make it this more visually clear. Because I will admit at the moment, I don't know what these buttons do. Oh, I'm swiping through the different rarity versions. Cool. It doesn't tell you that. It would be nice if it kind of communicated that more clearly. So yeah, tooltips, as Shadow Ignition says.
Sure,
yeah.
but nothing over the top of it.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody else has any other questions about everything that's happening in the world of Infinity Wars Classic, the UI overhaul, and just, everything, now's the perfect time. You've got the community manager here, and of course the guy that runs the damn company, Mr. Coyle himself. We are here for all of your questions. Or if there's just other parts of the UI that you want to ask about and just see firsthand, I'm happy to showcase everything.
Or at least I will be in the next 5 minutes.
Hey,
Let's go to get ready for my birthday party tomorrow.
Yeah, happy birthday to Agent Coyle, everybody. Can we get some happy birthdays in the chat?
To Coyle. Beal's birthday.
Yep, Agent Core Prime. That's like a line Facebook.
I have 2 questions though, actually. Or 2 quick things about the UI.
Yep, hold on, let me quickly turn you up. You're a little bit quiet on my end. Go ahead.
So when you hover your opponent's cards right now, when they're in the support or like the zone, it clips the top of the card.
It clips it?
It'll hover, it'll go up to like the top of the command zone card, like the top like 5th or so of the card clips out of like the windowed mode.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And currently I cannot look at my deck or my graveyard.
Well, I don't know if you
I had the same issue with the looking at the deck. I played the card that allows me to move card in my deck, but I wasn't capable of seeing what's in the deck. So.
Oh, okay. So like when doing things with cards that interact with the deck specifically, it doesn't let you do it.
I'm sorry. On like the, you can click.
I didn't see any of the cards in the deck.
Yeah, and you can like click the deck or click graveyard to like see your cards in deck or graveyard. Clicking on those no images actually show on the scroll or the UI of it.
Alright, fair enough. Oh yeah, as Shadow Dish just pointed out, I should quickly mention that there is a dedicated channel in the Patreon area of the Discord to not only report bugs, but also just give general feedback and ideas and stuff. So if there's any bugs that come up, specifically with the main menus and UI overhaul and stuff that you want to report, that is the dedicated place. We're just going to keep this channel alive for the next couple of weeks. We'll bin it and go back to the normal bug fixing channel once we get a lot of the big things out of the way. But yeah, we have a dedicated spot specifically for the UI overhaul right now. Is there a Patreon link? I can absolutely get you one of those, my friend. Cut, paste, there you go. So yeah, jumping into the Patreon campaign will get you access to the UI overhaul and of course, you know, the other working version of the game that's currently in the live branch, and you'll be able to request an account transfer. The account transfer system is a little bit broken, so you might not get your stuff straight away, but you will get your stuff. Everybody else, if you don't feel like paying, that's okay, you don't have to. We will eventually be going live soon. We've only confirmed that it's happening this year. We're not able to say anything else at this point. We will be testing and bug fixing.
Well, I've said something already publicly on that.
Okay.
So I said we are single digits away from releasing.
Single digit weeks? That is correct. We are less than 10 weeks away from the release, for better or worse. But I have a high degree of confidence that we'll be ready and things will be great. Can we have a look at the new improved settings menu? Oh, that's a good idea. I was actually taking a look at this earlier on as well. First off, we'll change that back to the visual view. So jumping into the settings, we have a whole lot of different areas. A bunch of them are just labeled coming soon, so you can just take a look at, you know, what will be on the way. Yeah, we've got the general things, we've got gameplay, we've got the graphics, and we've got the audio. There are some things that I do want to mention here as well. For example, like you can hide all card customizations, so if you customize a bunch of stuff and then you decide, you know what, I want to turn that off for a bit and play normal, that's completely fine. You can have an entire deck of... What's a really shameful hobby these days?
Being a VTuber.
Alright, you can have an entire deck of VTuber fan art cards and then come in here, hit that button, turn it all off, and stream to your tens of hundreds of thousands of friends, and no one will know that you're an actual degenerate weeb, and it's great. You'll be able to, you know, hide that very easily and very publicly. We've got some things coming with chat and the game speed also as well. Also some graphics thing coming in. One of the cool things that I will mention is the always animate cards thing. That will slow down a lot of machines. So unless you have the big dick machine that costed like a couple grand and you've got that sitting in your room to play your games, I would advise staying away from that one because it will render 800 animations at the same time even if it's not displaying them. That means you'll always get to see your cards animated no matter where they are, but that also comes at a cost of all of the cards are animated, so do be careful with that one. And we've also got audio stuff, narration, music style. Ooh, do we mention the music style and what that means, Coil, or do we hold on to that for another day?
Oh, we can mention it. We've got some people logging on now. I might as well keep the announcements rolling. Yeah, there's a plan to have the music style of OG Infinity Wars, which will have the original music in the background and the faction selected music for inside the game. And then there'll be, we'll see how many we've got. We've got some remasters coming in from the original artist who produced the first ones, as well as another couple of artists that are doing some other tracks for us for factions. And then we'll have an extended volume, which will be basically us grabbing off all the what are they called? The bundles, Humble Bundle tracks to find some really good atmospheric tracks that would match certain factions, and have an extended track list as well, which will have probably around 9 per faction. Yeah, different songs in there as well. And you'll also be able to just choose just do the extended new music if you've gotten bored of the original music, or a mix. So a number of options.
Yeah, I mean, by putting the power to choose in the player's hand, it's completely up to you. If you want to stay like hard and true to the original soundtrack, you absolutely go for it. If you want to go for the new modern interpretations that are custom made, you go for it. If you want to hear the much wider selection of music that isn't necessarily all made by us as a team, but still, you know, tailored to fit the Infinity Wars experience, that's also completely yours. Makes it super fun. Because, like, I will say that I've been going through a lot of the stuff that's been created and stuff through the Humble Bundles and through the other sources and stuff, and there are some amazing audio tracks out there. For example, like Dark Fantasy Studio has pulled off some amazing things, and I'm hearing so many of those tracks and just being like, oh, this would be a really fun like Cult of Maror track. So yeah, I've barely even started that task, and I'm already excited by how much could end up happening through all of that. So yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. Agent Oprah deck, let's go. Will you be able to chat during games with your opponent? I think that's something that we can do and is planned to happen. I have no idea how fast that time frame will be. Do you have any ideas or input there, Coyle?
Just make sure it's on the survey. It'll go out to everyone soon.
Right, yes.
So we're planning a survey for everybody that will basically list out all the possible features we could be working on, or the most reasonable features for us to work on, and allow you to rank those in rank order, so we can collate all the responses from everyone who's playing the game, and then just be able to determine our roadmap from there. So of course we've got some cool things that we want to do with the game as well, but yeah, for the most part we want to be listening to what you guys want to see in the game and what you think will be the most value and the most use to you guys as you know, early on in the pieces we can make it. So yeah, we are in this for the long haul, or obviously pending Kickstarter funding, but because of the optimizations on the servers and stuff as well, we shouldn't need to go on ice anymore, even just based off you know, the funding we're getting through the Patreons. So that's awesome. There's still you know, capacity there to keep the game going, and with your support and spreading the word, you know, we'll be able to bring death to pay to win, as our marketing catchphrase has become. So yeah, we actually, while I'm on that tangent, you know, the whole purpose that we're driving for with the Kickstarter campaign and with bringing new players into the game is to take away the hesitation people have when they're like, oh, I don't want to go, you know, have to go collect all these cards again just to even stand a chance. I don't want to bother doing that, you know, until they know it's a good game. So the idea is they come in, they get to experience every card, never have a mechanical disadvantage other than, you know, their skill and some RNG, and then be able to you know, fall in love with the game from there, and then support us as the Kickstarters come up. So yeah, there is a plan to have each of the sets be funded through Kickstarter, and yeah, we think that's a great way as well to reach new players, because people who are looking for new things are often on Kickstarter. So we're kind of making that our focus over the next few months at least.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the questions coming from Mincy: will there be a spectator mode? Eventually, yes, and again, this will depend on the server we send out in terms of what we prioritize when. It's something that I've wanted behind the scenes for a long time, but unfortunately, it's not a small thing, as we have to redo and rewrite a bunch of netcode that we've already created, which is definitely doable. It's just a bit of a long task to make that happen. But I am very excited to see what happens after that, because one of my big hesitancies in hosting like large-scale tournaments and stuff is that creating an entertaining medium that isn't at a negative competitive disadvantage for one or both of the players is difficult. And the ability to have a spectator mode that's like, you know, maybe one turn behind and doesn't show their hands gives a whole lot of power to that, and we can start making really impressive events, and also give that power to all of our players to also make their own events, and that's going to be super fun. Might take some time, does depend on the survey, but I am personally excited for that.
And not a few weeks go by where you don't ask for survey for the spectator mode.
I'm pretty sure that Ruben's going to block me if I mention it twice more. He's on the edge. Poor Ruben. something Mythgard did was a tournament mode. Well, we actually also have that as a potential idea as well. You'll notice that in the online area we have events. Now, there are going to be some events that we have wanted to do. I don't know how feasible they are because we haven't really researched it that much yet. But the dream idea is to have, at a certain point, a time of day, we could have an event go off where it opens up a queue that it lets in, let's say, 64 people, and then just generates a tournament with those 64 people. I reckon having like an inbuilt tournament system that players can just easily engage with without even having to embrace any other outside platforms is going to be super fun. And plus, like, we could also introduce the idea of, like, you know, competitive tournaments where you have to pay like a certain amount of an entry fee in Lightmare points, and then when you actually win on the other end of it, you get something that's like extraordinarily valuable. You might even get like a limited one-off cosmetic that, you know, nobody else in the game would potentially have, which might make it like ultra rare. So yeah, there's a bunch of a new car. Oh my god, is that sorry, I'm losing it. I'm fine.
Yeah. While you're talking about events,
just thinking about Agent Oprah again. Sorry, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yep. So yeah, one of the other big things about the events page and queue will be we will be able to test out new features that we're toying with for the designs of Infinity Wars 2. So the idea is we can do big global changes that affect both players, and both that also includes the decks as well. The way the decks are constructed, we can experiment with all of those things, and at the same time be creating limited time events that give you an exciting, different way to play Infinity Wars. So yeah, one of the things that really worked well in say the roguelike games is the ability to always have a fresh experience of the game, even if you're playing with, you know, the same deck. So there'll be the ability to have like a week long queue where you can jump into a match and it's Avarok has risen, and it forces both the players to have an Avarok map, and then every turn, you know, 6 zombies would raise, you know, in each player's attack zone. You can do those kind of, or, you know, it would scale up, but it would be turn one zombie raises, and then each turn it would go up higher and higher. And you can create some pretty exciting things to sink your teeth into for a little while, at least. And then we've also got the idea of like bringing those back on a higher rotation during like Kickstarter events as well. So, and new sets releases. So exciting stuff.
Welcome, by the way, to the Fritz's new card. Also, I love your idea, Gamepedia, but I'm also going to ban you for the channel forever. How dare you?
Damn, fair, valid. Yep.
Alright, so we can jump into another game or two, but I do want to make sure that we try and spend as much time on the actual menu systems, because that's like the brand new thing. The game, people have seen the game. They've seen it 50 times. We play it like every single week in our Infinity Wars Classic Summit. Check the link in the Discord for more information about that. But yeah, this is the first time the world has seen the new UI overhaul, so I'll try and focus on this as much as possible. Ooh, I am almost about to overtake Damon Ren. Haha. Suck it.
Damn. No.
Alright. Also, something quick to note as well, we do have the decks separated by my decks and pre-made decks. One thing here that is currently grayed out is community decks. Now, this is going to be some time away, but the overall concept is that when you make a deck, you could submit it live to like the server, and it would just be in the community decks area, and you can go and download other people's decks. You can upvote them if you think they're really good. You can download them if you think that they're kind of crappy, and it'll basically be a great way to neutralize deck lists and, you know, finding and scouting specific deck styles and play styles. And of course, you know, it will actually have the name of the original creator of the deck when you take a copy of it. So you know, some people could end up getting a bit of a name for themselves by just doing deck engineering. And when you see, like, for example, one of the old best players, Merlini, if he jumps in and starts theory crafting some crazy decks and chooses to submit one or two, you might go to the community decks tab and see one or two decks from Merlini, and you'll be like, oh, that's something I need to pay attention to, and jump in and see what it's like. And yeah, I think it's a fun way to encourage community interaction and people sharing and stuff as far as their deck building experience goes. Also, just as a quick note, I will be quick about this. For Patreon people, we are currently running a competition, so you can get your deck into the game as a pre-made default deck. Information on that is in the Patreon page. Just scroll down, I think 2 posts, and you'll see the submission form there, which I'm really excited about. Also, someone wanted to see the export button. I'm going to quickly
just before you do that, just click on the JSNOC or the Friends button.
Right. So clicking on your name brings you to your actual profile page. But if you click on the Friends button, it brings up the Friends area. You've got Friends and Notifications. Notifications is where you go for game invites and stuff. And of course you can add new people to your friends, and of course, send them messages and remove them from friends and all that other stuff. It's going to be super fun to see that fleshed out, because one of the cool things is that the profile you see right here, you'll be eventually allowed to browse anybody's profile. So I could go to my friends list and go to Agent Coil and go, oh, what's he up to? And check out his profile. It'll show me how many wins he's got.
Animate the icons for ones that are animated as well, or at least while they're online.
Yeah. I think because nobody's online at the moment, none of them are animated. But yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I could go and spy on Agent Coil's profile, check out his card showcase, see what he's got. One of the ideas
Eventually,
that we also...
one's not coming straight away. But
yeah, it's going to take some time. Another one of the ideas we had was the same way that you submit decks to the community area, you could also have 1 or 2 showcase on your profile. I don't know if that's been approved as a actual thing that we are going to work on, but it's an idea. And depending on how keen people are on the idea of showcasing their specific favorite decks on their profile, we may or may not end up going hard on that. If someone adds you, you get a notification to approve, or do you have to both add to connect? I'm pretty sure it sends them a notification. I may be incorrect. If it's not, we will fix that and make it that way.
No. It doesn't give notification. No, don't. Cause
it doesn't?
The idea is it's a follow system, similar to like Twitter, where you can just follow somebody, and then obviously, we'll introduce eventually, if there is a problem with it, we'll introduce a ban system as well, so you can just never see that person online.
Right.
But the idea is we want to foster connection, right? So we don't want people going back. Well, we want people to be invited to games as much as possible, right? Yeah, so to the point where we're actually looking at even doing an auto invite system when the queue is reaching a certain point and you haven't found a match in a while. It can auto invite your friends and then auto invite other people on the server as well, and randomly match up with somebody, because you could be sitting in and the way that I play this nowadays would just jump into the queue and then just edit decks and stuff, but not everyone's going to play it that way. So yeah, you might be just browsing through the game and be invited to a match. So yeah, we want to foster connection, especially while we're still building the player base up, and the difference between 5 and 50 could be overcome by inventively inviting people or having ways of connecting people in the game. That's what we want to foster. So you can always just ignore the request if it comes through, but then at least you're aware that there's somebody in queue, and it's a way of sort of prompting people, hey, I'm in queue, I'm ready to play.
Draconis asks, will there be a PvE aspect to the game in the future? There are ideas, but there's nothing currently locked in. We will be having basic stuff, like the tutorial is currently being worked on, so we can get new players into the game in a really easy, seamless way where we really hold their hand, sort of thing. But for the more advanced players who know the game inside and out, I'm not 100% sure if we have anything on the card at the moment. Coil, do you want to talk about that?
There's some stuff, and there's some bouncing around in my hidden files from you, Jason, because Jason's going to be overwhelmed with all the things I'm thinking about for the game. But yeah, there's a couple things on this point. So we've already built the system to do an adventure mode, which is like a roguelike experience for Infinity Heroes. Obviously, it could still do with a lot more work and a lot more fleshing out, but at least it's the building blocks are in place if we wanted to do like a roguelike adventure. And then if we were going to do that, I'd still want to look at how can we mix in lore and actually make it feel like a campaign experience at the same time. That's my current best thinking on what would be a great way to create lots of replayability on the campaign, and also be able to build the campaign quite easily as well.
Damien Rhodes says PvE aspect for people that are fully free to play to earn card art. Color for iconic cards would be nice. Yeah, like we have some ideas and plans around like having campaigns that you can jump into for free, and you unlock certain cards at the end of those. But again, those are ideas at this stage. Did you show off the expendable view for your deck on the play screen? The expandable view, right? Yeah. So if we come through here, let's go to my decks and let's show off the Bring 'Em Back Twice deck. Go to the deck builder. I believe. Nope, that's not it. Where was it? I'm blanking. I'm probably looking at it right now and I can't think of where it is. No. Oh, so we do have the statistics stuff, advanced filtering stuff. It's not in the deck, but oh, right. You're gonna have to change that up a bit because it seems like a very strange place to find it. So if you go to play and select a deck, bring them back twice. Little arrow in the bottom left when you go to queue with a deck. Little arrow bottom left. I'm not 100% seeing where you're talking about. Oh, here it is. Deck info. There we go. That's a bit of a strange place to find it. We might have to look into fixing it up at some point. But yeah, expanded.
Or we just leave it out. Leave it hanging out already so people can see it.
Yeah, expanded view, so you can see a more visual representation. It's all your stats, all the stuff you need to know. I think it's pretty cool. I got there eventually. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, I hope this has been a very fun and enlightening stream for everybody. Coyle, how long did you plan on this going for? Because I imagine this is just going to be like an hour, maybe an hour and a half if we get wrapped up and playing games. But how much longer do you want to keep this going for?
Yeah, man, I'm happy to. I'm going to bounce off the call now myself, but I think we've covered all the big bits, and yeah, it's just really the last thing I would leave us with is that this game will become great and or not based off how we all approach the game, and if we like a game that we can get into and have the freedom to explore the game fully without paying anything, but then support continued development in a direction that's heavily guided by the player base, then yeah, we'd love to have you welcome you into the community and become a Rift runner, and yeah, and even help us co-create the game together into the best game this one can be, with a view to card games are my life, and obviously video games are my life as well. So I've been playing card games since I was 7.5, and yeah, it's something I want to keep creating for the rest of my life. And yeah, sometimes it takes quite a few years to learn the lessons, both in how to design the game and how to run a studio, to get it right. But I feel like we're onto something here, and yeah, if you guys feel that too, and we really appreciate your support. Yeah, keeps us going, both your encouragement and finances, but yeah, it really does keep us going. We do listen and we do hear you, and the stuff you do say does affect us, but at the same time we are also determined in our vision to bring out a game that's going to be really honouring what was there before and become even better, and lay the foundation for something even bigger and better, because this is what we created. This is what myself and Ian Underwood created in one drunken night, with the plans now to to be able to experiment with what Infinity Wars 2 is going to look like live with the players by just changing one aspect, seeing how that works, then maybe changing 2 other aspects that have been tested independently and seeing how they work together. We could literally playtest and co-create Infinity Wars 2 based on your feedback, because we're also building in better feedback systems into the game as well, so you'll be able to actually vote in the game as to what feature we work on next, as to what direction we take the lore and therefore the cards in, what mechanics we want to bring in. We'll explain the mechanics and let you guys vote on what you think would be a great mechanic in the game, and build it in an incredible game and an even better sequel. On that point where we are seeking funding and stuff for a sequel to be created. But we're not in a hurry to do that. We want to get this game as good as we can, and of course if money does come along, then brilliant. It helps all the games out by having that funding, because everything we build into the engine we can see the benefit of in the other products as well. So and for those who don't know, you got full cross progression with Infinity Heroes, which went into open beta recently. It's a really good way of getting players into the Infinity Wars game, especially if they're new to card games in the first place, because that game has pre-made decks and less card hand size to worry about, and less spots to worry about. So there's limited spots in the assault, defense, and support zones. So it's a really cool way of getting a taste of Infinity Wars, and eventually with that product being able to do cross-play mobile to PC with Infinity Heroes. So heaps of stuff that we want to do with the game, and we're 100% committed to making it the best it can be. So
I'm going to give this question to you because I know that you would like to answer it, and just the fact that it's been asked is probably going to make you smile. Mincy asks 2 versus 2 for IW2.
Yeah. That is what we want to do, and even 3v3 if we can make it work. So the practicality of that is going to be a big question, and how do we actually manage all of that? We would have to bring in limiting zone numbers and things like that. It might end up, maybe being a special mode that has those limitations on it, and then the other mode doesn't. That's the big question mark as to how we play that out. We did play with the idea of 2v2 with Infinity Wars 1 back in the day, and you would switch over screens, so it'd almost be a bit like to dare speak its name, Artifact, where you've got those 3 different screens. We had that idea for doing multiplayer, but that's my biggest desire for Infinity Wars 2, is to create some kind of cooperative, if not cooperative, or at least cooperative, if not multiplayer experience for the game, because that's also how the games can go viral. So you get into a game, especially if it's a well designed, and I'd want it to be a really well designed cooperative mode. It's not just here's Infinity Wars with 2 people on each side. I would want something that would actually feel like there's a purpose to playing with your partner, and create a bit of a unique experience in that 2v2 or 3v3 experience that could even become its own thing. Who knows, a big vision time, there could be teams of players for a card game, and imagine the synergy, and then the way you'd have to work together in creating 3 decks that work together well, and that there's actual a purpose and a way that you are working together that's not just, like I said before, 2 players just playing side by side. So that's something we'd want lots of feedback on. That is something, it's not happening this year, as far as being able to experiment with it inside Infinity Wars Classic, pending funding. If we got funding, that changes the game straight away, but just based on current trajectories, we would be looking at experimenting with 2v2 or co-op mode in the events tab and events queue. So
bunch left to figure out and all that, but right now our number one focus is Infinity Wars Classic, and we've still got a long way to go, but it is so fun and refreshing seeing how much progress is being made, and honestly hearing more and more players constantly coming back and just being like, man, all of this progress has been really cool, and how many hearts we've managed to change over the course of the last couple of years of people who back in 2020 thought that this was a weird, dumb idea that would be dead in the water, and 2 years later they're some of the most keen and invested players who are constantly giving us support for everything that's being done behind the scenes. It's all just really amazing, and I love being a part of it. I really do.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to say farewell to you guys for now, so thanks a lot
happy
for coming on
birthday,
the
Elfie.
stream. Oh, thank you. In about 2 hours, or technically 6 hours when I was born.
Do you want to tell the stream how old you are, or are you 24?
No, I took on, if you remember earlier this year, I took on the age identity of being immortal.
Right.
So I no
Congratulations
longer...
on your immortalist birthday.
Exactly.
Is that the way you're
I
saying?
no longer associate with it with an age. I don't identify it with it. So, yeah. But there is a bigger one coming up that many would call hitting the top of the hill. Let's put it that way. That's next year. So yeah, I leave you with a riddle for my age, which I think you'll figure out instantly. But yeah, so exciting times. Like they say that, not that they say, there's actually been studies that have looked at, like the last year of your decade is often one of your most powerful years because you're like, oh shit, I'm turning whatever it is, 60, and I better go make the most of my 50s. I still have them. So that is my plan for next year. And yeah, I mean, just to give you some background and stuff, I'm also settling down pretty heavily and looking to have kids and stuff. So I really want to create something that's sustaining and awesome and provides awesome value to the world with a game that is my favorite game, legitimately.
I think it's great that we got the crazy and impulsive Agent Coil to make the mastery that was Infinity Wars, but now we've got the responsible Coil who can calm things down a little bit and make things that actually work for the long term. It's the best of both worlds. We really lucked out on that one.
Thanks,
You heard it, he's turning 60. Phil's birthday, man.
Well, there are many coils.
Yeah, there's so many coils. Also, Fritz has asked.
I shall share just for. Oh, do I do this? I might get in trouble. No, I won't do that. I was going to share a video of my last birthday party.
I think we might get banned on Twitch if you share that. But yeah, Fritz has asked how long have you, Dev's, been working on the Overhaul? Congrats on getting this in front of people. I think this is 4 months. Does that sound about right? I know that we were talking about it during my birthday, which was back in May. So it's over 2.5.
Yeah, no, because I had my birthday previously was delayed 3 times until January, so it's now on my actual birthday, which is tomorrow, and yeah, I'll be boogieing down. I'm actually going to find the okay, so I will put a link to it.
Put it in the Discord, because that way we can make more people join the Discord server, and also we're not going to get banned on Twitch. Sound like a plan?
Okay.
I'm not going to say don't share it, I'm just going to say don't share it exactly here right now.
Alright. Well, I gotta go prep more, so take care, everybody, and yeah.
Yeah, enjoy your birthday, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a part of everything.
Cheers. I'll post that. Let me just make sure I got the right channel.
Yeah, just hashtag general is probably fine.
Alright. Just wait, Infinity Wars General?
Yeah.
Alright. Done.
So if you want to see footage of Agent Coil's last birthday, you know where to go now.
Is there a Patreon chat that I can put on?
There is a Patreon general if you scroll up.
How about I just paste it into this chat? There you go.
Into what chat? Alright. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm going to paste it into Twitch, so all good.
Alright, we're going to try and jump into one more game, and then I'll probably end the stream. See if we manage to find anybody trying to play with the new UI stuff. Let's go U, join Q, see what we end up with. Alright.
Now, Jason hasn't previewed this, so...
I have not. I'm going to ignore it and pretend I never saw it. You're not affiliated with us. Get out of here. Enjoy your birthday. I have got a bunch of messages from a bunch of people on Discord. I will get to all of those right after the stream, I promise. Yeah. Oh, I can totally just take the opportunity to showcase more of the cards while the queue is going. It's so awesome that we have the chance to do that now. So if you have any card requests that you want to check out their lore and peep exactly what they say, go ahead and drop that information into the chat. So, for example, Boyo, a fan favorite card. Boyo was an interdimensional celebrity of unparalleled charisma. Everybody liked him. They flocked to his side. They clamored to see him or to hear his voice. They would even gladly die for him. Many did, but they were happy to do so because everybody liked Boyo, and they all agreed that his life was more valuable than their own. Very fun little card. Actually, let's check out Yobo. I don't remember reading that one. Nobody liked Yobo. Nobody even knew where he was from, or who he was, or what he liked. Nobody cared to ask. Or if they did, it was to ask in the kind of way that was really telling him to leave, and whenever he finally did, they were always glad. Oh, poor Yobo. It's so sad. Let's go back to browsing everything, find a random point. Siphon structure. While any sorceress of any standing within the cult knew how to unleash devastating power upon her foes, only the most skilled practitioners of magic were capable of seizing their enemy's life force and channeling it into themselves, siphoning away strength and health for their own use. I know, man. That's so sad. Splitter Robot. Orion emphasized building redundancies into battlefield robots in order to make them more durable and effective compared to the soldiers of the other factions. The most successful and iconic example of this philosophy was the Splitter Robot, which had dual processing nodes which could operate at full combat efficiency even if the other half of the robot was destroyed. Even if cut in half, each of the two segments of the Splitter Bot would fight on. That's real fun. Man, seeing everything in the UI overhaul is just a real fun experience. Well, let's go for Tibat. What's his deal? Unlike many other monks, Tibat insisted on taking the front lines to defend Jinhai from invaders again and again. He personally unleashed his martial skills and spiritual wrath upon the exiles, sleepers, and sorceresses more than any other monk. However, this dedication placed him in constant peril, and slowly his mind broke under continued exposure to the corruption, and he himself fell to it, becoming the very kind of devil that he had sought to destroy. Ooh, that's fun. Wait, hold on. Time for fun. Oh my god, Time for Fun has a huge one. That's so funny. Also, the animation's a little bit broken. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it, I promise. I swear, like, 10% of this stream has just been me saying, we'll fix it, I promise. Gotta head to bed. See you all later. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Snowbar. Is it Snowbar Order? It might be Snowbar Order. That makes more sense. Alright, fair enough. Even in years of warfare, it was important for everyone, soldiers and civilians alike, to find time for fun. The constant pressures and unending demands of war could drive people insane, even if they weren't on the battlefield. Finding time to step away from the brutal reality of war to let both civilians and soldiers to rest their minds and relax from the heightened battlefield tension and awareness necessary when fighting. Even small games allowed minds to free, if only for a moment, the brutality of war and find solace, freedom, and sanity in fantasy. It was vital for soldiers' well-being that they have time to rest, relax, and have some fun. Oh, that's kinda wholesome. I'm being a bit careful to try and not spoil too many things. A lot of this that you will be looking at and seeing are things that you yourself will be able to experience. I mean, as a Patreon member right now, but as everybody else, in less than 10 weeks. Oh man, that feels good to actually finally say that. For the last year, we have been saying that Infinity Wars Classic was coming in 2022. As in, it was going free to play in 2022. That's all we've been able to say. And I know that 10 weeks isn't much better than a 52-week period, but it feels like progress. All of this just feels like progress. Does it say one of two? Yeah, so that is the ability to change your cosmetic type. So for example, if you've got a foil version, and you've got a gold version, and you've got a plat foil version, and you've got your Patreon version, you can cycle through all of them and check them all out individually. It's also a great way to check out the arts as well. So if there are alternate arts that you have as well, that's also where you would find them. Bounty Hunter. The opening of the interdimensional rifts placed the infinite worlds in contact with each other and confronted the factions with enemies that they had never seen, even imagined of before, let alone seen. Facing novel enemies, a specialized mercenary class offered its services to the factions with the promise of being able to efficiently fight new and unusual foes as long as the money was good. Bounty hunters promised that they would return with the head of any human, be they a knight, sorceress, engineer, or monk. Long rifles aided them in their assassination missions as they set out to claim their bounties. You like Christmas Constructor? Yeah, definitely a fun one. Dude, I'm so excited to I'm so excited to abuse my admin privileges to get every copy of every card. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah, there's a whole lot of really cool, I think maybe even discontinued artworks and alt arts that I could get, but I don't have at the moment. And I want access to them. And I'm willing to work it for another year or two if it means I get access to them. Alright. We've almost come up to an hour and a half. I think we're going to call it here. I think this has been a relatively successful reveal stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, Lord Deathrage, Raven, The Fritzes, and Jacronus79, thank you so much for the follow. Very much appreciate it. For those of you watching on the VOD, because there will be a VOD of this, I hope you're having a fantastic time and that you know, everything is going good for you. For Patreon people, you're able to jump into the game right now. We're looking for feedback, and we have a list of bugs that we're aware of that we will be fixing as soon as possible. But if you find any bugs that aren't on that, please let us know as soon as possible, and also just general feedback. Also, because all of the devs will be reading that channel relatively consistently, feel free to take a moment to just compliment something about the game you like. I promise you it'll make their day. Can guarantee it. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. I hope it's a good one. And we'll see you on the next stream/video.